Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 98 of Miami Dolphins content. The salary cap has been set at $255 million. And ladies and gentlemen, let the Grier games begin. For those of y'all watching on X and Twitch and all that stuff, head on over to YouTube, smash that like button, waddle on the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so every time we're freaking live, you can come in and join us. But what is going on? The man, the myth, the legend, Bleezy. What is up, brother?
What up, CT, man? Hope you and everybody has had a great weekend. You know, we're back another Monday in the books. Get the grind on, back to the weekly grind. But, hey, you know, we got a little bit popping off, man. The combine's starting. You know, I think everybody's kind of sitting back, just trying to get through the off season, man, you know?
Yeah, let's talk about the first fucking surprise of the offseason, man. This salary cap number, bro. Wow. We were not expecting a salary cap number that high. All the predictions were around 234 million was the highest prediction I saw. And that's an extra $21 million. So, I mean, the Miami Dolphins are thankful for that. I don't know who likes the Miami Dolphins, but apparently somebody in the freaking finance department does.
You know, we got something going in our favor.
I mean, hey, look, instead of being 50 million, we were only, 38 over? So that's a huge fucking difference. That is a huge difference.
It really is a big difference, man, especially when we were kind of set up to make some cuts, you know, to make some room. And now, you know.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, we did. It didn't take us long. I mean, Emmanuel Ogbah, Xavier Howard, man, the purge has begun. As far as Xavier Howard, Emmanuel Ogbah, we'll start with him first. Look, we all knew it was coming. That was a given. I just thought that even in this case, I mean, you never know. He might end up back with the Miami Dolphins if he tests the market and he's not going to get what he wants. He might be groveling back.
I heard KC wants him back. That's what I
really
heard. I did hear that.
Well, KC, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
So what about Xavier Howard? You were telling me that you heard something on the radio earlier today. What was that about?
They were talking about X on the radio. You know, the fact that he's not cut. Like, if you go to the Dolphins website right now, you'll see where they released Ogbah has been cut. That's on their website, but there's no talk about X. And so somebody called up and they were talking about that, and they were like, "Yeah, he's going to be cut on the 13th." But he said that he had heard that the Dolphins were trying to get a second-round pick for him, is what he said. I was like,
okay. Yeah, and I've heard that. We've heard a lot of that stuff over the years about when you have a player that you know you're going to release on the first day of the new year, because if not, obviously roster bonuses kick in and stuff like that. But I think that, you know, I think from what I've heard, and again, there are conflicting reports, but that him and his agent have been notified they do plan to cut him the first day of the new year with the post-June 1st designation so that we can get the full amount of cap salary relief for releasing him. But, I mean, it's not a bad idea if someone is willing to trade for him. But as we've said before in previous off seasons, if teams know you're going to end up cutting that guy anyway,
right,
they're really not willing to give up high draft picks. Maybe
six or a little value. Second round pick may be a little strong for Ags. I mean, we talked to, and shout out to Dolphin. She loves her some Ags. You know, we all know that. She talked about it, and yeah, subscribe to her. Shout out to her for coming on last week. She's got the open invite. whenever she wants. She knows that. But she was talking about how big of a fan she was. We were going back and forth. CT was breaking it down. And then it was like the next day, was it not? All that stuff dropped about him. The next day or two, it all dropped.
Couple
About
days after. Yeah.
couple days,
And
yeah.
shout out to Dolphin as always. But, I think that again, it's Miami's way of saying if we can get something to trade him, that's fine and dandy. But I don't really see any teams taking on him at that contract. I think that most teams would be willing to let him get cut so that they can negotiate their own contract with him instead of trying to, take on the Dolphins contract. But you never know. Let's go. Back it up. It is in the building. Gents, what's going on? Back it up.
What's popping, man?
But yeah, I think that again, when it comes down to Xavier Howard, like I said, I think teams are going to want to be able to negotiate their own contract with him. He's an aging guy, and I know fan will get mad, but again, he's getting up there. He's had the growing injuries. We've had those issues, and I don't know if any team's going to be willing to trade for him with a $21 million cap hit. So I think again, it's a foregone conclusion. They will release him the first day, designate him as a post June 1st cut, and get the top dollar as far as salary cap savings we can. But yeah, that was those things weren't unexpected. We knew those were coming.
Right. Yeah, we talked about that at the beginning of the year that how much did he have left in the tank? And we said 1, maybe 2 more years. And we got 1 more out of him.
Yeah. So another interesting thing is, we know a lot of our guys are represented by one agent out there. Freaking chirping. But AVG, Agba, all kinds of guys are his clients, and he put out there, as well as I think Schefter reported it as well, that that some of these guys are interested in coming back to Miami, but they also want to test the market, and I think that bodes well for Miami in a couple situations, and not so much in a couple situations. But
yeah,
I think it hurts us in the AVG situation. Granted, yes, he did have the Liz Frank injury at the end of the year, but that's not something that would shy a lot of teams away, given his production when Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb went out. He's gonna have some attention on him for sure.
Well, and we're going to have our attention on a bunch of people too. Anthony Weaver's coming in. It's his time to pick his guys, man. I'm real interested to see what he's going to put opposite Ramsey. If we're going that route, I'm real curious to see what's going to be going on over there. Aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's kind of the thing that I was more surprised about of the X cut, or at least letting him and his agent know so quickly, is obviously you got roster bonuses and whatnot, so you want to get rid of him as quickly as possible so none of that kicks in. But you would think that they'd have some type of plan moving forward at that spot. And, we've talked about it. Needham's a free agent. We're really not going to, Eli Apple's a free agent. He's not going to be back, obviously.
That's fine with us.
But I'm just saying, like it comes down to what is the solution, and especially if Weaver is wanting to move Jalen Ramsey around, now you're talking about who else are you going to put?
Now we need a stud. You need a stud over there, man. A big time corner.
But the thing is even if they're moving him around, say they may move him to a star safety every once in a while or often throughout the game, you got to have a number 3 cornerback to be able to come out and play the boundary. And who the fuck's going to do that? Because I'm telling you.
Yeah, we're hoping Cam. Smith. We're hoping,
Well,
man.
if Cam Smith starts opposite him, you still need a third guy
Well, you're
to come.
talking about Cam's on the boundary.
Yeah, Cam's going to be opposite Ramsey, but again, Weaver said he's going to be moving Ramsey around. So if you do move Ramsey, however many plays, the plays you have him lined up at a safety spot or whatever, you still have to have another boundary corner to go out there and play.
Well, don't you think that we're going to go free agency on the other boundary? That's what I'm thinking. Cam seems a little green to be putting out there on an island. Especially if we're moving Ramsey all over the place. I don't think we want Cam to be our number one option out there right now.
Well, I mean, I can agree with that absolutely, but the thing is there are good, efficient corners that aren't going to cost you an arm and a leg. But really, like I said in the title, let the Grier games begin, because this is really where it starts. Is how many guys are you going to restructure? Who are you cutting? How much cap are you really going to make available to yourself? Are you going to spend some of that cap in franchise tagging Christian Wilkins? Are you going to abide by his wishes and let him hit the market, or are you just going to tag him? And that in itself, that $24 million, how much is going to be left, and where are you going to find guys at reasonable prices, that don't suck donkey dick like Eli Apple?
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, for sure, man.
And do you really see us, using one of our first or second round picks on another cornerback? I don't think so.
That would hurt, man. Especially after picking Cam, man. No. I don't think the Dolphins fans would be happy with a corner in the first round for us.
Like I said, when Dolphin was here, and even prior to that, I still think cornerback and linebacker need to be our first two, or center and cornerback, God damn, I can't think.
Yeah.
Center and linebacker are our main priorities, 1 and 2.
Well, that's what I was going to say that about the combine as well. This week, we got the combine popping off, and a lot of guys are going to be moving up the board, right, CT? A lot of guys are going to be moving up and down.
Absolutely. And for those that don't know, yesterday, the first set of players arrived. The DBs and the defensive linebackers arrived, and they're all on a staggered schedule. They normally come in, do their physicals, they do their team interviews. Then the next day, they talk with the NFL Players Association, go through their orientation and all that good stuff. Then the third day, they go through their medical evals, and then on the fourth day, they do their on-field work. You guys can check that out, see how, again, how it's all split up based on position groups. They got about, 1 or 2 or 3 position groups a day. Just kind of how they do it. This is how they decided to break it up this year. But yeah, we're going to start hearing a lot of stuff, especially when, it comes to the on-field work. I think things will start heating up there. We'll start hearing a lot more about people moving up and down the boards and what people are seeing based on their personalities, how they interview with teams, how,
performance.
you'll hear. Yeah. But more so, I think, again, and we've talked about it, it's the Underwear Olympics. It's part of the evaluation, but it's not the entire evaluation. And so it's kind of where it is.
Oh, it's definitely Underwear Olympics, man. But a lot of people, a lot of stock is put into this combine, man. What do they say? The big thing now, it's not the 40, it's the shuttle and the cones and all that you got to look out for. I mean, they get scientific with it.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Green Rat said, like Road Dogg needs to say, oh, you didn't know, you better call Noah. No, thanks.
Oh.
thanks. Noah, thanks.
Trainwreck.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, everybody knows the 40s with the top end speed, who's the fastest guy, yada yada. But you get into the cones and the shuttle drills where instead of straight line speed, you're talking about agility, ability to cut and make moves, get separation. Those are the things that, I mean, again, it's all part of the puzzle. There are people that they can do well in a shuttle drill because you're practicing. You're practicing for a set evaluation. But those shuttle drills and cone drills don't always necessarily line up with what you see on the field, which is why, again, the combine is just a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. I saw something about one of the Ravens GMs was talking about Ozzie Newsome, their ex GM, that they love him. He said in the first round, his goal was not to hit a home run, but to hit a double, guaranteed double.
Yep.
And I was like, damn.
Grier freaking, he always goes for the home run, man, and sometimes he ends up striking out. And that's the problem.
Exactly. But, get a good double, man. Solid double, man. That's how you build a team.
Yep. And I get it. I mean, people are so infatuated with the idea of evaluations of superstars and, who's going to be the next superstar on my team. But when it comes down to it, and this is something I've said repeatedly, I'm not always looking for the superstar. Like you just said, and I've said it so many times, is I want a guy who's ready to come in and play. And I don't necessarily care if he's going to be the next superstar. I just want to have solid, good play over a 4 to 5 year period.
That's not asking too much. Kind of like AVG, for example.
Yeah, and I mean, you would think, though, with the first rounder, a little bit better
than him, probably. Yeah, right. Well, first
a more starter caliber kind of player, but at the same
time, example.
Well, it is because ABG did start and played extremely well, and so how much of that is his development, but how much of that was natural talent to begin with? That those are all open to interpretation, but at the same time, he was a quality pick for us. He played well for us. But again, if you end up losing him, then that's kind of an issue the Dolphins have had for quite some time, is you got solid guys, but then you end up letting them walk out the door. A la Christian Wilkins, possibly AVG,
No, that's kind of been our Hunt. It's kind of been our mojo for a couple of decades, man. All of a sudden, our best players are walking out the door every year, it seems like.
Yep. And it's because, again, I think Grier, and it's not just Grier because, again, like you said, this has been a decades-long thing. I think that it's multiple coaches, multiple GMs, and even multiple owners. I think it really comes down to they try to wait till the very last minute to try to re-sign these guys, but they put them in a situation where they can't re-sign all of them because they wait so damn long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, you're right, man. You're right. But it is extremely valuable to hit on these draft picks, man. Look at X. That was a home run, Just like we're talking about, AVG was a good one. Jerome Baker, you could say, has been a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, the pick itself isn't the problem in some of these guys. I mean, obviously, Noah and others, the pick was absolutely wrong. But it really came down to with Jerome Baker, the outlandish freaking contract you gave him. And
getting that contract, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is it's the whole point of signing them early is to get a team-friendly deal or to get a below-market value in those second or third year of that extension where it pays off for you. The problem is
Austin Jackson. We could say Austin Jackson's been a good pick.
That's debatable. I think that, again,
Right
If you
tackle?
make, but the thing is here's my position on that, right? So if everybody says that you can't extend Tua based on one good year, doesn't that same logic apply to Austin Jackson? Because Austin Jackson's only had one good year.
Yeah, you could. You could say that.
So again, that's where that's debatable. I mean, I think that
Yeah.
again, there are things that can be debated player by player situations, but in the end, did Austin Jackson play extremely well this year? Absolutely. Kudos to Austin Jackson.
What
But
about
I would
Eichenberg?
like to.
Green Rats boy, Eichenberg. He was a draft. What was he? A second rounder? That's another draft
Yeah,
pick.
yeah, we actually traded up, and we traded up to get him. I
Right.
think we traded a second and a third round pick to get him,
Woo.
and yeah, that hasn't turned out well at all. He's a solid backup, but that's his ceiling,
But
and unfortunately,
he's gotten a lot of playing time for us. It's crazy. I mean, that may be what we wanted. Oh yeah. Here we
what is
go.
going
What's up,
on,
dog?
Dolph fan in the building? I didn't think she was going to show up
I
after
wouldn't
X got
do
cut.
either.
Well,
What's up?
I thought we weren't going to talk about that.
Oh,
Oh,
Don't go there.
don't go there. I'm not okay. The Heat,
said I'm not ready to talk about that yet.
right, that's why all of my content has been Miami Heat. They're healing my soul.
There you go. There you
Okay.
go. Mm-hmm.
How
That's
are you?
good. That's good. They play tonight, right?
10 o'clock.
Yeah. Nice.
Man, we got to get that going. But yeah, so let us know. We had the big surprise. We were just talking about the fact that we did not anticipate the jump from 234 million being projected to 255 million dollar salary cap. What do you think about that?
You kind of knew it was going to happen. I mean, I feel like every year we panic about the cap, and then Grier does something, things happen, and then
Right.
there's suddenly enough room.
No, exactly.
See, but I don't see. But the thing is we did not. We knew it jumps, but we didn't know. I mean, you're talking about what was it? A $38 million jump, which the previous few years it's been around 17% increase. This time it jumped up to like what was it, like 32% increase, which was not anticipated.
Well, I think the cuts are helping too. But yeah, there was definitely more room than I thought there would be. But
Right, which is a good thing. I think with Dog
instead of starting 51 million over, we only started 42 or something like that. So,
but like
was
what she's
definitely
saying is every year the fans are like bitching about the salary cap and this and that, freaking out about the money, but it all works out. We always end up with the money. They come up with the money. They figure out how to do it, how to
Yeah.
make it work. You know?
we panic, and then Grier's like, sprinkle.
Yeah, it works out. You know, it's almost not even worrying about the money. You know, it's going to work out. It's about getting these players in here, like Green Rat's boy Liam.
Oh my God, freaking Green Rat and damn Liam. Stop it.
Dahl, what are your thoughts on Liam Eichenberg?
Yeah, he's a player, and he's on the team.
That's all that she needs to say right there. She said everything she needed to say, period.
Yeah.
He's one of our draft picks. We were just going over some of our draft picks, and Eichenberg is one of our draft picks.
I saw somebody posted like a tier of like the draft picks, and Eichenberg was like the bottom tier where he belongs.
At the bottom where he belongs.
Yeah.
But, you know.
All right.
And,
that's what I was just saying, though. He's gotten a heck of a lot of playing time with us to be, you know, I don't know what that says about our O-line.
Well, we talked about the injuries and whatnot because on any other team, including this team, had it not been for the plethora of injuries we have on the offensive line, Liam Eichenberg wouldn't be playing. He'd be riding the pine pony like Noah did.
Backup.
We just gotta draft JPP is it JJP?
Yeah, whatever his name is. I
I'm
know you're talking about. I'm on board with that.
Jackson Powers. He's listen, Eichenberg didn't suck, but he wasn't great.
Right. That's fair.
He
Yeah.
he filled in and he did what a backup should do, but he's not starter over anybody material. He's slide him in if we're desperate, and he won't suck super bad.
Right. I mean, he was doing. I mean, we moved him to center. We were moving him around all over the map. I think it was a tackle when we drafted him, and so.
Yeah,
but
we
now
tried
he
with
sucked.
tackle.
He sucked. Green Rat. He did suck his first year. His first year, maybe his second too. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, right tackle he sucked. Left tackle he sucked. We tried him at right guard. Or left guard. He sucked there. Then we moved him to center. He sucked there, but he was decent. And then we moved him to right guard when Robert Hunt got injured. He actually played pretty darn well at right guard. But again, Robert Hunt comes back healthy. Bye, Liam. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's great to stay on the team as like a backup role, but I mean, obviously, if there's
For depth.
the availability to draft a true starter, we should draft or in the free agency go after a true starter.
Yeah.
Agreed. Like you were on last week, I'm still stuck on this center linebacker. I've been like this for about 2 months. I think that again, you're not. I'm not overly impressed with Jerome Baker. Given his contract, it's not worth it. You gotta address the linebacker position. We know again, Jalen Phillips did have the update on his surgery. Said he's out of the walking boot finally, which is great to hear. But again, there's such a range, as I've said. Trying to compare him coming back in 2 or 3 months, being ready for the training camp like Aaron Rodgers, it's not going to happen. The difference and disparity between a quarterback and a lineman, the forces needed to deal with on that patella or the Achilles is much different. We're not going to have him back for beginning of the year, not even close. I'm looking at week 8 to week 12 is kind of where I'm at. Everybody's different. He may be able to come back a week or so early, but if Nick Needham is any indication, it took Nick Needham 14 months to get back to playing shape. Just because you're healthy doesn't mean you're in football shape. There's a huge difference between that. And so we got to address the linebackers. We got to address the offensive line. And now, again, I won't mention his name, but, oh, shit. Green Rat had to go for the jugular there.
If Rat wants me to find him and hunt him down.
Hey, he lives in Iowa, so go find him.
That's fine. There's plenty of cornfields to dispose of him.
Oh, exactly. Don't ever find him. But I won't mention his name, but given that circumstance and something we were just talking about with Weaver talking about wanting to move Jalen Ramsey around, now you're looking at the possibility of needing 2 boundary corners, especially if you're going to be moving him around to the star, safety cornerback hybrid. That's going to be a tall ask in free agency. And if we go out and
that can cover that. There's not a free agent available. There's not a rookie available that's going to cover
like Axe you're talking about.
There's absolutely nobody available, and there's no rookie that's going to step in and be able to offset losing Xavier Howard. Absolutely 100% will not happen.
We're talking about Cam Smith.
I love Smith, but they did him a disservice last year by not playing him, not giving him the experience, and basically not developing him. So this year, he's going to be rusty. he's going to need development. He's going to need to work on a new scheme. He's not just going to seamlessly fit in like Xavier Howard would, or a veteran. It might be rough in the.
No, exactly. That's what I was saying. Dolphins fans are not going to be real feeling real good if Cam Smith is over there on the other side. You know,
I love Cam Smith, but me too.
He's
not ready.
Right,
Xavier Howard. He's
especially
not.
like you said, especially after what we saw last year, which was nothing.
Now there's a new scheme. You have a new coordinator. You have to learn a whole new scheme. Yeah. And you really didn't have that year of development. You had the year of being thrown on the scout squad and basically told to fend for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you're now behind development. And you can't expect Xavier Howard type numbers from him this year. I really expect this year to be a defensive struggle, especially losing Xavier Howard. And I said it, I pissed off the Tua people, but I said I cannot wait for Xavier Howard to pick Tua off.
Oh, shit.
Well, I mean, hey, we did hear rumblings that he's interested in going to Tennessee. So
no, we don't want to face Axe.
He wants to go back to Houston, where he's from.
Oh, no, it's Houston. You're right. I'm sorry. Yep, that's right. I forgot.
No, we need to get him in the NFC somewhere where, maybe a Super Bowl or something. We'll see.
It's really not our choice at this point. Granted, we did hear some rumblings, Dolphin, that even though we've notified him we're going to release him on March 13th, we are trying to trade him, see if we can get something for him. But again, as I said, number one, I really don't think teams are going to want to do that. It's one thing to give up a 6th, 7th round pick, but to try to take on his contract that we gave him versus their ability to negotiate with him their own contract, I don't see us getting anything out of that. He's going to be, designated post June 1st, and that's going to be the end of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. But he's going to go somewhere and just wait. There's going to be some.
He'll ball out when he's not with the Dolphins training staff, medical training staff. He'll freaking stay healthy for the second time in his career.
All I know is that I have kept receipts, and everybody that has talked shit about him, I will be tagging you in everything.
AKA Green Rat.
Green Rat. Green Rat's coming in tonight.
Go ahead and put him in the mix.
I think you spelled it wrong. That's just probably because the school systems in Iowa are probably shit.
Oh, shit. Hey, I love it. He's a BC shit talker. You got shit talk back to him.
Hell yeah.
Listen. Everybody knows my stance on X. So you come at me and X, you signed up for it.
And you'll tell them too. I've seen you say it on Twitter.
Oh,
don't do it.
I'm feral on Twitter. I'll be on Twitter and I'll be like joking on one thread, threatening somebody on another thread, mocking the Bills on another thread. Like I'm just like very. If you saw my Twitter, bipolar. Like she is all over. I'm just living my best life.
Oh, speaking of that, we are always trolling the Bills on this channel. We're only going to play the first verse of this, but you got to let us know how you feel about this one.
Crying, whining little baby bitch, acting out like an adolescent girl who whines on Twitter. Hey, buck up and grow the fuck up, you crying, whining little baby bitch.
You like that? You like that?
That's hysterical.
That matched up pretty good, didn't it? It matched up pretty good.
It matched up great. The only thing that would have made that better is the dude who tattooed that the Bills were going to the Super Bowl on his arm.
Oh my God.
Playoffs.
You got to leave it to the freaking Buffalo fans to do stupid shit like that. I mean, they jumped through tables, knocked themselves unconscious. Can't believe.
Like they were jumping.
We had that video on here, but then we got reported for having violent content on the show. Them knocking themselves unconscious.
They're like them and Philly fans are pretty equal, except like the Philly fans are more like aggressive, and the Bills fans are more like self-destructive.
Self-destructive.
I
Yeah.
don't know about that. I've been to plenty of Bills games with the Bills. Their fans are freaking obnoxious, always trying to get in fights, and
But, like, they're also like knocking themselves unconscious, like idiots.
Right.
Yeah.
Eagle fans are at least like solely focused on getting you out of their stadium. Like they're not jumping on things. They're not like lighting themselves on fire. The Bills fans are like, we hate you, but give me 3 seconds real quick. I can go jump in a fire pit full of fire and break it.
Right. I'll be back. We'll see what
or
happens.
wasn't it the Buffalo guy that burnt his car and like 3 other cars when the dumbass put his freaking grill in his car with the freaking coal still lit?
That was at Hard Rock. I thought that was a Dolphin fan.
No, I thought it was a Bills fan that did it at the Dolphins game.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, that might be it.
She lives in Philly.
I remember saying, because I remember making the joke, for them having all the experience in cooking chicken wings, they should know how to put their fucking grill out before they put it back in their car.
Well, when you're adding alcohol into the system, you're not.
Oh yeah, they start early over there.
You can go off. I love how you're just like going off in your own world about Florida. It doesn't affect me.
Right. She's in Philly.
I live in Philly.
Yeah.
Philly. So you could jump in Philly with me. That's fine.
Do you go to? Have you been to many Eagles games?
Absolutely never.
Never.
Oh.
You've never been.
No. It's not safe. It's like physically, it's not safe.
That's what I was gonna ask. Yeah. You stay out of there.
Yeah, I mean, even Eagle fans that I'm friends with, like I wouldn't go with because it's just not.
Really? See, that's crazy.
I know a couple of Steeler fans up here too that I work with, and they won't go either because
really
they've seen some crazy stuff. Eagle fans can get Eagle fans hate opposing fans. They think that the only people at the link should be Eagle fans, despite the fact that it's like good for the economy,
Right.
They want no parts of it. They only want their fans in their stadium. And if you are wearing a fan thing, you will be heckled, drinks spilled on you, slurs called. Well, they'll follow you into the stadium, just heckling behind you and like surrounding you,
stalking you.
Yeah, it's awful. So I'll go to MetLife. When
MetLife, okay.
We do the MetLife takeover. I'll drive over to Jersey.
That's cool.
But yeah,
her whole like 45-minute journey over to Jersey.
well, to MetLife, you're looking at an hour and a half, maybe, because it's at like the north part of Jersey. Despite the fact that they're the New York Giants and New York Jets, they're in Jersey, Rutherford, New Jersey.
Right.
I keep forgetting because my grandparents lived in Punxsutawney, and we used to fly into Pittsburgh all the time. And I know from Pittsburgh to Jersey was one hell of a drive. I took one drive with my grandfather to go see a Giants game, and that was one hell of a drive.
That's because Pittsburgh is about 6 hours away from Philly. So you're probably looking at 7 to 8 from Jersey.
Okay.
What part of Jersey you're going to? Yeah, that's
Have you been to Hard Rock?
No, not.
Never been?
Hard Rock since before the renovations.
Okay.
That's on the
See, I'm the same way. I haven't been to Hard Rock since.
My background picture, I took that at the Texans game 2 years ago.
I will be there this year. I am coming down for fan club weekend.
Hell yeah.
I will be there. I plan to meet with everybody. I'm tailgating. I already have all the tailgaters prepared. And I'm going to be going.
Nice. See, you're going to have that's what I'm saying about what the games that I've been to have been a complete party, even for the other fans, and by the way, we've won every game I've been to, by the way.
Why are you not going to all of our games?
Bleezy needs to get the season tickets on, and we need to get this undefeated season going, baby.
And every game has been a party, because I heard some stuff before I started going. It was crazy as hell and fights and shit. But it's not like that. It's a total party at Hard Rock.
I would like to just finally be with my people.
Well, it is when you go to the.
I'm always going to enemy.
That's what I was gonna say, Dolphin.
Yeah, I want to.
Not even that. It's even in the Dolphins community, though. We have trash fans in the Dolphins community, and I'm sorry, but it goes across all spectrums. It doesn't matter. When you get people who want to get drunk and they can't handle their alcohol and they act the fool, that's every team's issue. But like you said, Bleezy, even when we went, man, we used to drink beers with opposing fans. We're like, hey, let's have a shotgun contest. Let's have it was just fun. But it's all revolves around who you're with and who you're around, and that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, I think it was like the East 12th. Well, I don't know, the big spot at Hard Rock. That's where I'm planning to be with like the big people. But I told everybody, I was like, listen, I want to come down. I'll hit everybody's tailgate. I drink, but I don't drink a lot. Like, I'm a lightweight. So don't expect a lot out of me. I'll drink like a couple drinks.
What game? You know what game that is? You're talking about?
I was told the guys from the network are all going down. Like, we're all going to finally meet up.
Oh, sweet.
So they told me it's in October. So that
October game.
The
all right.
will be announced, and then the Dolphins will announce.
Well, yeah. Okay, cool. Sweet.
So I already have a sitter on standby. I was like, listen, sometime in October, I'm coming down. No kids, just and I'm gonna go. I say feral, but like I'm not. I'm just like very friendly. I want to hit up the tailgates. I want to sit with everybody in a section. I want to do all.
Yeah, it's a party. It's a license to party when you get up in there. Is what it is.
That's all I want.
No, what she said is, and I feel the pain is, with the no kids, that's when you get to let loose and let your hair down and get into it.
I was coming down like with my youngest, who's a Dolphins fan too. That would be a completely different doll that you would see. Because it would be mom mode. Like, where is he? Is he next to me? I can't drink. I got to manage him. Like, but if you put out the kids, then you're kind of like, okay, I can sit there.
Jump right in the groove. Get right in the mix.
Let's grill. Like, I don't know what we do with these tailgates, but like, let's do it.
You should do like a vlog or something. That'd be awesome.
We've been doing it.
I don't know how to edit and do like, if I did anything, it would just be going live.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying. So we did it a few times on multiple channels I've been a part of. Is if you just, having your phone, like Bleezy did it for a preseason game this year. He didn't do it the whole time, but a 30-minute segment here, walking around to the different places, getting your food and whatever, having conversations with fans, getting the interaction with average fans who don't necessarily have a presence on YouTube or Twitter, just to kind of get into that. And it was really successful for us, hashtag fuck YouTube before they took our last channel, but it was a really successful freaking show for us. We had like 20,000 views on that show. And it was just him walking around and talking to people. So with your presence, I think that'd be a great idea.
Check it out. Here's one I took when I was in the stands. I think this is a touchdown pass. Yeah.
I love that.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I was going to do it for the Heat game as well. I was going to live stream, but I did end up doing it because I went with the kids and it was just, I was on mode. So I would.
By the way, they're not going to let you do it anyway. On a previous channel they try to go live. Yeah, security shut his ass down. They at the Heat games, they do not like that.
Well, it was in Philly. I went up here.
Oh, okay. I was saying at whatever it is now, the Kaya, whatever it is now, they changed it. But they shut him down. They were like, yeah, we're not having that. So, which kind of sucked. We called them out for it. We're like, look, if you want more people to come to Heat games, then you need to let people stream from Heat games.
Right. Well, that's stupid. But Hard Rock, hopefully, that's a fun thing to do. I just want to meet everybody. Like, I talk to like you guys.
Yeah.
I've never actually met anyone in real life. Phins talks. I've never met any of them,
Right.
so it's really fun to actually like meet.
No, because I live in Fort Myers, so Southwest Florida is a big. There's a big dolphin, like Dolph Freaky lives down here, and so they do that beach bash, and it was the first time that I ever showed up that I started meeting people that I met on here, like this, and it's almost like surreal, because I'm sitting there partying with like 4 or 5 people that I sit there and watch on YouTube all the time. And they're right there. It's awesome. It's really cool.
Come down one time because I'm actually from Cape Coral. That's my hometown.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like,
all right.
Shit, everyone's partying in my hometown.
I was in Cape Coral today, as a matter of fact.
I might come down for something down there because I still got friends. And
that beach bash was awesome. That was on Sanibel Causeway. That was really cool.
How's it down there? Is it still?
Yeah, I don't think they're throwing very many more parties down there. They're still rebuilding all that.
But I do plan. Maybe I'll come down for the next one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So let's get back on this because Green had an interesting question, and I'd like to get you guys' opinion on it. The huge question is Elliott going to re-sign? Because if not, we're going to have a safety conundrum too. Because Brandon Jones is an unrestricted free agent, so is Deshaun Elliott. We might be rebuilding the entire secondary at this point.
I mean, I really think it depends on money, how much money he wants, and who's going to be available in free agency. Do we think that we could get somebody cheaper? Because Grier's all about, saving a buck. I would probably take Jones over Elliott.
I think I agree.
Unpopular opinion.
I like Brandon Jones.
I like
too, and I've been trying to get this for a while though. I love Brandon Jones, but I don't know if I like him in a full-on deep safety coverage type situation. What I would love for Brandon Jones, and I brought this up when we started having the outside linebacker issues and injuries, I'd like to turn him into a la at what Brandon Staley did with Derwin James in his first 2 years, is make him that safety linebacker hybrid, because we know that Brandon Jones has the box skills. He has the ability to play in the box, play the run, and
he's physical.
We know that he can blitz the quarterback. How many times have we seen him blitz off the edge? And I think that's a better role for Brandon Jones. But again, are you going to bring Brandon Jones back for that? And then, again, I don't know, because if you're going to let Ramsey move, and if you put him in that star position, which is that safety cornerback hybrid, maybe you do re-sign Brandon Jones on the cheap, because you can use him in a safety linebacker hybrid role, because Ramsey's going to be back there to play deep.
I agree. It could work. I
don't think Dolphins fans are going to complain about keeping Brandon Jones,
No, but I don't think we can keep Jones and Elliott. I think you're going to have to take
one. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. You had to choose one or the other.
Yeah, I'm going Jones over Elliott. I also think Jones would be cheaper to keep than Elliott.
Probably, yeah. Elliott will get paid.
Yeah,
he's looking to get paid.
Jones isn't. I mean, he's going to want money, but I don't think he's going to want as much as Elliott.
That's true.
Injury history.
That's a great point.
Coming off the ACL, and absolutely.
So I think it would make more sense, and knowing Grier, and he likes, and we need all the cap space we have because we have so many.
Mm-hmm.
I am going Jones over Elliott. I wouldn't be mad at it.
I wouldn't be mad at it.
Over Jones, but I think Elliott's going to want to get paid.
Yep. Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not only that, but I also heard rumors that he's wanting to follow Little Dick to Philly. So,
well, you know what? If that's the choices that he wants to make in life.
Get your ass out of here.
He can come hang out with me, and I'll have some words for all of them.
Yeah. She'll have a conversation with them up there.
Like, look, Little Dick is not the guy to hit your wagon to.
Everybody wants to come up to Philly with me. I got Lowry up here. I got Fangio.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we can hopefully send. Eli.
Yeah, Lowry, letting Lowry go fucking hurt me. That.
He's the Eli Apple of the Heat.
No, that is absolute BS. Lowry played extremely well. They continued to bash him on his injuries. Now, again, if you're going to bash him because of the knee problems, okay, I understand. Yes, he had consistent knee problems. But again, when he was healthy, just like X, he performed extremely well for us. I'm sorry.
Kyle Lowry to Xavier Howard. That is absolutely disrespectful to Xavier Howard. Lowry,
No, I was saying the premise of when he's healthy. I didn't say that they're comparable in performance wise. See, now you're putting words in my mouth. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Lowry's problem for me was that he was inconsistent. I didn't know what version of Kyle Lowry was going to step onto that court. He was either going to kill it or he was just going to stand there and just kind of jog back and forth and not do shit for the entire game.
But how much of that was dealing with that knee? And I think that's where, if you saw and if you noticed, because I did literally on Miami Fan Talk Network, shout out to Big Philly and his thing. I did every game of the playoffs live, every single one of them for 3 years straight. And with Lowry, it was the first couple games he played amazing. But when you get 3 or 4 games in a short time span with that knee, he had his knee drained multiple times before games. He had freaking his knee drained multiple times after games. The thing is how long, and unfortunately, don't see, I got to preface this before you freaking go and say I'm comparing the two. Dwayne Wade had the same knee issue and had to get his knee drained multiple times. I'm not comparing the two. It's just the knee thing that I'm comparing. And in that same semblance, we saw the same thing with Dwayne Wade, where early in the series, after getting a couple days rest, he played extremely well. And then you saw him slow down at the end of series. And then when it came down to the last game or in the clutch moment, Dwayne Wade always got it done. But you could see the physical decline in short span periods of time for Lowry. And that was maybe, again, is it minute management? Is it, rehab? Is it, what is he doing in the off season? Did he get the knee scoped? Did he get it cleaned out? Were things being attended to the way they needed to be? And that's where I have a different opinion on that because of my expertise. And sometimes I give players a little bit more leeway, a la X as well. He had the ankle injuries and then he had the growing injuries. Do I blame them solely on Xavier Howard? Absolutely not, because there are things that you can do to mitigate growing injuries. You have protagonist and antagonist muscles. If you work on them in the off season and you have them balanced, you have less opportunity for those growing injuries. Well, we've already established Miami Dolphins training staff sucks. And do I put that on Howard? No, I don't. But I also say if Howard knew that Miami wasn't handling him correctly in the injury department, you have enough money to go get something on your own, a la Atua with Nick Hicks, or there are so many different examples.
You don't know that he wasn't privately going to get things done.
Well, I don't, but I'm saying if that were the situation, I think if I was him, would go out and get something individually that would prolong my career or to protect myself from the injuries that can cut my career short. That's all.
Well, I wasn't sad to see Kyle Lowry go. And I'm going to be honest, you're the first Heat fan I've talked to that was sad to see Kyle Lowry go. So,
like I said, when he was healthy, he played extremely aggressive. He played extremely well. It's
with no Lowry and picking up Rozier. I'm okay with that trade-off.
We'll see, because again, I think that the big advantage Lowry gave us was the experience, and I think it's almost the UD situation where, there were times where, we would freaking call for UD to play and they wouldn't play him. But who's to say, had you not played him in that 6th game against, who was it last year? Damn it.
In the finals?
No, it was prior to that when Hero re-aggravated his injury.
Yeah.
And they were talking about, oh, well, we didn't have enough guys on the bench. UD's right there. I mean, is UD going to give you 50 points? No, he's not. But you could have freaking sat freaking Hero. You could have let UD come in. You could have, you would have to jumble up the rotation a little bit. But you have the ability to do things to keep Hero from overextending himself and re-aggravating his injury. And I think that's the whole point to that is the Dolphins could have done the same thing. Xavier Howard had the little, growing injury. Mm-hmm. You could have played Cam Smith, but little Dick didn't want to. And had you gave an extra week of rest, who's to say what would have happened?
Did you see Ramsey's goodbye to X where he put in parentheses, like, it's a shame that dude didn't, like, play us or whatever?
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw
that.
Absolutely. He said, I'll never forgive that man or something like that for wasting our time together.
Wasting our time together.
Them healthy was like a dream team. Like, shut down. And I'm so pissed that the Dolphins didn't give it at least one more year with him just to
It is crazy. It is kind of crazy.
I feel like I deserve that.
Hey, believe me. Hey, when I heard the news about X, you were the first person I thought of.
I DM blew up. I got people to Instagram, people on Twitter, like, blow me up. I'm at work. I got feral. I think I said F you, Miami Dolphins. I got drunk that night. I cried. I literally was on the
Did I not call it Bleezy? I called it on the show. I said she was probably crying herself to sleep that night because we talked privately, and I was like, man, I wanted us to keep X2 at least one more, even if we could restructure him a little bit, get a $5 or $6 million cap savings, but they just showed him the door.
Anthony Weaver, I don't know.
He played that night and had a brawl against the Penguins. And so that made me feel a little bit better. Like the full-on fist-fight brawl in the middle. I was like, this is what I needed.
That's what you need,
drunk. I was drunk. It was great.
Kick some ass.
Yeah, everybody was trying to warn me for weeks that it was coming. But I was like, no, that it doesn't make sense. You have Weaver now. We can really turn this thing around. But they decided to be idiots. And
I think it comes down to value. I think they said, you know what? If we're going to get anything, we got to get rid of them right now. But like you said, who's going to replace them? They better have something on the back burner.
I think if you have a small window, if you're going to tell me this is it, like we have a 2-year window. Why would you get rid of, even injured, a top 10 cornerback in this league? Even injured.
Somebody like that. Yeah. Captain of our team.
So because I think it comes down to, again, as much as I love him, if you can't keep him healthy and he's not producing, it comes to the position of, is it then worth a $21 million cap hit? And I'm not going to necessarily argue that, because I think, again, if the sentiment is that Grier can restructure other guys, Why didn't you even try with X? Because, and I've said this, X and his wife have the ice cream shop in Florida. They have a family business. Now, all of a sudden, you're putting him in a situation where, yeah, he wants to do what's best for his family and his finances. But who's to say, hey, look, instead of that 21 million, let's restructure you. Let's give you 2 more years at the end of the deal, or even extend them, give you 2 more years at the end of the deal. Let us spread out that cap hit over the next 3 years instead of the single year, and get you at around 15 million instead of 21.
Work it out.
But the thing is Chris Grier is a fucking stubborn bastard, and he no matter what he does, as much as, again, he's great at fleecing people in trades and whatever, and he likes to pass the buck on to Brandon Shore and this other guy. No, you're still the GM. They may handle the contracts, but you handle them. So if they're putting you in a position where you can't do it, then that's on Grier. That's not on Brandon Shore. Stop trying to pass the buck.
Hey, maybe that's the problem, because remember the problem with X a few years ago and his agent? They were playing hardball, and X was sitting out until August or sometime.
Yeah, but that's because Grier and Brandon Shore, and at that time, it wasn't Brandon Shore. I believe it was Dawn Aponte, however you say her name. They gave Byron Jones $2 million more than they gave X. And I agree with X. That's a slap in the fucking face.
No, it was a slap in the face. But what I'm saying is X's agent did not budge. He was like, F you, Dolphins. Yeah,
because they slapped X in the face by paying Byron $2 million more than him.
Grier, we realized that Noah sucked, and then Grier was like, "Okay, we'll pay you." That's what happened.
Well, yeah, but it came down to, again, had you communicated with X and his agent and Brandon Shore, Donna Point, whoever it was, because I believe it was Aponte at that time. But you had the ability to communicate, look, let's sign Byron Jones. We need somebody opposite X. But you can't fucking smack X in the face and be like, hey, you just had one of your best careers the year before, but we're going to pay this guy more than we're paying you. And then then you're going to argue that his agent didn't want to budge. Of course his agent didn't want to budge. X saw it as a slap in the face.
He shouldn't budge.
I wouldn't budge either.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know why they didn't keep him, doll. I don't know why. One more year.
I'll trigger the entire fan base. You say that he was injury prone and underperformed, yet y'all want to pay Tua?
Well, here's the thing. It's the same people that are over here saying, again, that Austin Jackson had one good year, right? Well, the argument can be had if people are wanting to extend Austin Jackson after quote unquote one good year, then why aren't you willing to extend Tua after quote unquote one good year? So the argument can go both ways, and it could go a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I just like to take little jabs when people bring up X. See, if you bring up X, I go low. Like, people want to.
Yeah.
She said, I'm ruthless. Don't bring up X. I'll bring up your beloved Tua.
Should go straight Philly.
I'm a neutral Tua person, but if you go X, I'm going under.
Yeah, don't go there.
She's Australian. She said, I'm going under. Let's go.
You got to remember, though, like, I've been around Philly a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
she said, I'm picking up on these Philly tendencies.
Nobody's meaner to their own team than Philadelphia Eagle fans. If they lose a game, they're like, fire everybody. I hate you. You're the worst. You win a game. They're the greatest. Extend them 500 years.
Yeah.
It makes me feel better about the Dolphins like Tua debates, because I'm like, we're not the only fan base that's like in shambles right now.
No, that's true.
A little bit better.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was like this with Ryan Tannehill. Our fan base was going back and forth. It's not like it's anything.
But the thing is sorry, go ahead, Dolphin.
To say, I have not bought a Miami Dolphins quarterback jersey since Dan Marino.
Damn.
All of the jerseys that I have, and a lot.
Yeah.
Not one. I don't have a Tua. I didn't buy.
I hear you.
I don't have a Fiedler. I don't have a Pennington. None of it. Didn't do any of it. Chad Henning. None of it.
Any? No.
I will. I won't lie. I did break down and buy a Pennington jersey. I will admit that. But I got the X jersey, and that'll continue to stay there. But I really think that, again, as far as Ryan Tannehill, though, I think the reason that there's so much polarity around Tua is because of the Ryan Tannehill situation. Because, again, most Dolphins fans at that time, there wasn't a huge divide the way there is with Tua. There was about 75% that said Ryan Tannehill's great, but then he decided, I have an exercise science degree. I'm not going to get ACL surgery. I'm just going to rehab this on my own. And then when he got re-injured, that's when I think people turned on him in that aspect of, you thought you knew better than the team doctors, and now you put us in the position where you're out another year. We got to go through this bullshit again. And I think it left a sour taste in people's mouth at the end. But a lot of people were on board with Tannehill and wanting to ride it out until he got the second ACL tear. That's when people fucking turned on him.
I was cool with Tannehill. I really never had a big problem with him.
I didn't love him. I didn't hate him. I was pretty neutral with him.
Yeah, same. Exactly. Same thing. I was kind of frustrated with the fact that we couldn't make a decision on him, And here we are with Tua.
Seems to be our thing.
It's how we roll. MCJB, what's up, bro?
Hey, can y'all hear me? Sorry, I'm walking to the beach right now, and I don't know if y'all can hear me or not.
Well, we can hear you. Go ahead.
We hear you.
Hey, what's going on? I was eavesdropping a little bit. I don't understand what y'all talking about. I just got here, so what y'all talking about?
We were just talking about overall the Ryan Tannehill and how he created the divide once he had that second ACL, the polarity of Tua, and then of course,
it's Tua Tannehill 2.0. Is that where we're at right now?
Yeah, I think so. Shit.
You think so?
Yeah, bro.
We don't really know what he's got. I think he's got a high ceiling.
Yeah.
I think his ceiling is higher than Tannehill's.
Yeah, I think
bro, I'm sorry, Tua's already outperformed anything Tannehill has ever done,
and
whether with the Dolphins or Tennessee. I'm sorry.
And that's what I was just gonna say. He's already outdid what Tannehill did.
Tua is better than Tannehill. We're saying.
But that's just saying he's better than me.
Right, better than that.
But Dolphin, you gotta have this. So my thing though is, and I brought this up, and again, I'm the one that came out and defended Tua as far as the concussion situation. People were calling for him to retire and whatnot, and I said that's absolute horse shit. For me, again, as a professional, if you have one concussion, yeah, you can come back in a week and play, but at the same time, understanding multiple concussions in 1 year does not leave you susceptible to more concussions in the future. That's inaccurate, factually inaccurate. I don't care who tells you that. Do your own research. I can send you guys the clinical studies. It doesn't make him susceptible to concussions in the future. Does that mean that he didn't have things as far as landing? Because I called it. I told you guys he wasn't going to have a concussion this year, and he did it. So
I think he did. The goal for him was to stay healthy, finish the year, and I think he had a successful year in that. But I think if you want to pay him came up short there. But he definitely exceeded what we all needed him to do this year. It's just, and I can't put it all on Tua. I mean, the entire team fell apart in December. We had loser Fangio running the defense. We had Eli Apple
Gosh.
in the backfield. The entire offensive line basically in IR. So you can't fully put it on him, but I think that he needs another year to prove it. Like, I don't think he's proven that he's worth huge money yet.
I agree. And that's where I was making the comparison with Austin Jackson. So Austin Jackson had injuries last year, or not this previous year, but the year before, right? And we didn't get to see him blossom in that aspect. Knowing he was a first-round pick, we already had Noah the bust. And there was a lot hanging on Austin Jackson. And he performed extremely well this year. I gave him shit because he had all the physical tools, but the one thing that he struggles with is when he panics, he holds. And it's just one of the things he does. And each player has those tendencies.
Like Tua, when he panics.
And again, and I'm agreeing with you, I'm just saying that it came down to with Tua and Austin Jackson and that same thing of people are calling for us to extend Austin Jackson at big money. And I made the argument. Well, if the argument says that you can't pay Tua big money after one good year, then you can't pay Austin Jackson after one good year. And I agree. I think I want to see more from both of them before I give them big money. The only thing that I would say is, given Tua's place as a quarterback and a salary cap, moocher, because we all know that quarterbacks take up a large majority of teams' cap salary, I'm more willing to extend Austin Jackson than Tua, because our extension of Austin Jackson is not going to cost $45 to $50 million a year.
Dawg, I just noticed we're twinning. We're twinning out here. We're twinning out here. Let's go.
I love it.
Wait, hold on. Bleezy. What is Green Rat talking about? You a Pats fan?
I have no idea why he said that.
I don't know. He's saying I'm trashing Noah, but I'm not trashing Noah. Noah's play trashed Noah. So
Dang, he said, okay.
It was like a young Eli Apple.
This man says his ex is going to work at McDonald's. That is crazy.
He's crazy. He's going to give X a job at his local McDonald's where he works. And I think that's very good.
And now he might have to give Green Rat a job at his ice cream shop over there so he can learn what a scoop is.
Oh, burned.
He'll get him a job at that Thanksgiving buffet that Green Rat goes to every year.
Yes, sir. That Golden Corral.
That you can find them, dog. When you go looking for him, we know a buffet he goes to.
Yeah, he goes to Golden Corral on Thanksgiving, so in Iowa. So that's where you got to find him at.
It's not Golden. I don't think it's Golden Corral. But
It's not. I'm just kidding.
It is a buffet.
But anyway, let's stick to the Dolphins.
We got the heat tipping off in 15 minutes. So.
Yeah, I'm out soon because
you gotta go.
No, it's all good. Oh, it's all good.
I gotta go watch that game too.
Oh shit!
I hate the 10 o'clock. I was like, I'm gonna start a bit earlier, and then the Heat were like, no, you're not.
Hey, what are your thoughts on the NFL Combine? Do you even care about it? Do you think one way or the other about it? Do you watch any of it?
That's a big no.
That's a big no.
Not really.
The face itself.
Big deal nowadays. A lot of people love it, man.
But how many times?
I'm told, like, people always tell me, like, I can't lie because my face gives me a quiet face. So, yeah, no, I would love to go if I'm ever invited. Just to,
It'd be cool to go to, right?
Go to, out, try to shoot with people, I would love to.
Right. That would be cool, yeah.
I would probably talk smack about who I want to other scouts. Like, oh, man, like, he just absolutely underperformed.
Yeah.
So I would love to. Dolphins wanted me to come to a double A. I would love sometimes, but like, as for watching it, not really. I could have posted their minds made up of who they want. I don't know. It's not my jam, but I know some people love it.
No,
Yeah,
it's a big deal. It's a big deal nowadays.
And that's where I was trying to say. Me and Bleezy were having the argument as a professional. I just it is the underwear Olympics, and again, people seem to dote over the 40. Okay, we could talk about One Direction speed all you want. We can go to cone drills. We can go to the shuttle run. Yeah, when you teach an athlete to succeed in a drill, it doesn't necessarily translate to the field. And that's something that I get frustrated with because people get so excited over the ability of someone to do something in a controlled environment that is essentially a physical test. It's not the game of football. And it doesn't always translate.
Well, Mike McDaniel loves this by that 40 dash, and he's just waiting for a 4.2 to come by him.
Yeah, that speed. Yeah. No, you're right. They're looking for that speed. No, you're right. And that
El Gordito in the building. What is going on, El Gordito?
What's going on, family? How you guys doing? Long time.
What's up, bro? Yeah, what's up? We're sitting here kicking it with
we're talking about the combine. What is your opinion on it? Are you interested in it, or do you really think it's just a bunch of gibberish?
I think it's a bunch of gibberish, to be really honest with you. I feel like most of these teams, besides a couple, are really looking for quarterbacks. But other than that, man, I honestly, I just think that it's a show, Nothing big, though. Nothing big.
It's a show.
Especially when we heard that Nick Sirianni, for his third year in a row as a head coach, said, "No thanks, I'm not going."
The thing about it is there will be people moving up and down that board. You've been doing those mock drafts. They'll be different after the combine.
But I think a lot of that revolves around, though, Bleezy. I don't think it's the physical. I don't think it's the on-field work that really changes anything. What really I think that you get most out of in the combine is the interviews. Understanding where players are at mentally. Do they have the work ethic? Do they have a mentality or a ideology that fits your team? I think that's where teams get more than the on-field work, because the on-field work, again, is structured. That on-field structured work doesn't necessarily translate to football games. And it's a piece of the evaluation, but it's not its entirety.
Okay.
Agree. I still stand by that their minds are made up before this. It's just all.
It's a wrap.
Right.
It's a confirmation type of deal.
It's really a make or break. And this is, they have their minds made up, like you said, physically. It's once they talk to him, this guy's an asshole, or this guy's an idiot. That's when things kind of go south. They don't get impressed with, this guy, he came out and threw a 60-yard pass with no pads on. Nobody gives a shit about that.
No, they don't.
It's about, what have I seen on film? Does what I see on film and in these workouts match? And then do they have the personality that's going to fit our team? That's really what they're trying to gauge.
I would just love to go. You know what I would do? I would like to go and be like, and come back to you guys and report what was happening behind the scenes.
That'd be awesome.
Awesome.
Okay, you guys, yeah. They did. It was just here. I talked to these guys privately. I won't name names.
Yeah.
Here's what they were.
You'd be good at that, too.
I love. Because I could go in, dumb blonde. Absolutely. I could be ditzy. Oh, my God. Is this a football?
Yeah.
And
I can see you doing that.
You know what I mean?
So let's hit a home run in football.
Where's the combine at? Where's it at this year? Where is it?
It's always at in Indianapolis.
Okay.
Well,
it's at Oil Lucas Stadium because it's the dome.
I don't know how you get invited to it, but if anybody is invited and would like an assistant or somebody, I would absolutely come, slide behind the scenes. Like, oh, this is football, right?
Holler at Dolphin72. You'll have a real one. You'll have a real one in the building.
I'll even be like, I'll flirt my way to look at the people off the board.
Yes, sir.
Well, the Bills had X, Y, and Z on number 1, 2, 3. All they had to wear a V-neck, and I now know what we're targeting.
Hell yeah. Back there still in playbooks.
Right?
Still in interview books from the Bills.
You're calling me a pendejo when I'm over here friggin' shouting out your shows, so you can go fuck yourself. But no, snap. So and I agree. I think that it really is interesting, and I would love to get it. I mean, we get shots of it here and there. We've gotten a little bit of taste, but it's never enough for the fan side. And that's something I kind of liked about Hard Knocks is you get some of those behind the scene things, but you don't really get that with the draft. I think the only team, if I remember correctly, that did a episode of Hard Knocks with the draft was Dallas, but that's Jerry Jones being fuck you, I'm going to get what I want anyway. So that really doesn't show you what real teams are like. And we've seen pictures like, people have gotten in trouble. Pelissaro, what is it? Adam Pelissaro or Alex Pelissaro? One of the Pelissaros, they sneak peeked a picture of a team's draft board while he was walking through. Yeah, he got fined $50,000 for that one. And I don't get it. I mean, all teams do the same thing. It's the fans just they have curiosity. We want to know what you're doing. What is your thought process? We only get to see when you make the decision, and when you make the decision, we may not necessarily agree with the decision, but at least if we heard your backstage or back room conversations, maybe we'd understand it more. You know what I mean? Like maybe we would have a better, understanding of why you did what you did, even if we don't agree with it.
I'll snitch.
She's got
Speaking
it.
Well, MC back in the building.
If we ever get that opportunity.
Give me a press
pass.
I would
Dolphin 72 in there all day.
Give me a press pass because I won't bring it. I won't take a picture, but I will take notes, and then I'll come on a podcast after every day and be like, "All right, guys, here's what I've learned."
Check it out.
Hell yeah! I mean, hey, speaking of press, you got to give me a minute on this one. Shout out to Peter King. He did retire. I was a sports editor in my high school paper. Peter King is one of my biggest influences. I grew up reading his shit. And on top of that, he gave the Dolphins a shout out on his last column. His 8 out of 10 things to look out for this year. Number 8 is stop sleeping on the Dolphins. I like that. He thinks that everybody is overlooking the Dolphins, and he thinks that not only do we have a great coach, he spoke about a conversation that he had with Mike McDaniel after the Kansas City Germany game. And when we scored on the touchdown that we all thought was a screw up, but really wasn't a screw up, he said, look, we ran that play 11 times in practice and it didn't work a single time, but we ran it in a game and it worked perfectly. He said that he really likes Mike McDaniel's ability to connect with his players. He talked about his innovation in play design, which we all talked about. Play design's great, play calling not so much. But when you have a guy who is nationally recognized, he's recognized across the world, shouting out the Dolphins and saying, don't sleep on the Dolphins in 2024. Thank you for everything you did. We appreciate your content. It drove a lot of people. It inspired a lot of people. My bad. I had to get that Peter King in there.
There you go. Shout out to Peter King.
Peter King.
All right, guys.
I think we're going to be a trendy pick. I think we're going to be a trendy pick this year once again.
I got to go watch Duncan Robinson.
All right,
Yes.
Doll, thank you so much. You rock. You're the best.
Go Heat.
Yeah, go Heat. You know we're all big fans. We'll keep following you, keep rocking with you for sure.
You drop the link, I'll pop on.
Hell yeah.
Love it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a great night. Go Heat.
Bye.
Go Heat.
Big
Hell
Philly
yeah.
suck. Fuck that guy.
How cool is she, man?
Yeah, man.
Super cool, dude. Super cool, man.
Cool.
I didn't think she was going to come on because of X and everything, but hell yeah, man. She knows she's always welcome here for show.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, man, like I said, you know, and it really comes down to, and we've talked a lot about it, is we got some decisions to make, man, and it's going to start getting difficult. And we don't know, again, with Grier, what are you going to do? You've obviously let go of Agba. You're trying to trade X if you can, but if not, you're going to cut him and post-designate him. What other moves are we going to make? What are we going to see here?
What Dolphin was saying, Elliott. I think Elliott's toast. I can totally see that.
Elliott's not under contract. He's a free agent. So is Brandon Jones, and that's what I was trying to say is, are we going to re-sign one of those guys? But at the same time,
yes.
What other restructures? What other cuts are we going to see? What's going to be next for the Dolphins? Because to the point, on March 13th, we have to be under that cap. So what are the next moves to make?
I mean, I don't know. What do you look at? O-line, D-line? I mean, where do you want to make some cuts at?
Well, we've talked about it. I think that, you know, Jerome Baker is a possibility. Now, again, but that's the duality of that situation of, if you let go of Jerome Baker, yeah, you're going to save $13 million.
Duke Riley. How about we cut him?
I think Duke, if I remember correctly, is like $2.5 million or something like that. That's really not going to do shit for you. But the question comes into bear, and we talked about it on the previous shows. You have the opportunity to extend both Jalen Ramsey and Tyreek Hill, and that would allow you to give you some 0 years, what they call 0 years, where you're going to stretch out the guaranteed money, but you know that they're not going to be here on that third year. You know what I mean? It gives you the out, but it allows you to spread out their salary cap hit. So are we going to see maybe, again, an extension of Tua is the other possibility, but we also heard rumblings that that's not going to get done until after June 1st, when that money kicks in from the guys that were restructuring or cutting.
Big Philly saying the most cap space we can get is by extending Tua right now.
Yeah, and I agree. That's what I've been saying for years or months now is I think that if you extend him for 3 years, you give him a backloaded contract, but you also, on the guaranteed money, if Ross is willing to write him a $50 million check, it's the same concept with Christian Wilkins and re-signing Christian Wilkins. You backload the contract and you give him a fucking badass signing bonus. Yeah, it absolutely frees up a lot of cap. But to what extent? are you still going to be able, even if we re-sign Waddle, which Green Rat did bring up, you can re-sign Waddle, but again, how many checks is Steven Ross going to write? If he's going to keep writing them, let's go. But
he'll keep writing them, but he's going to run out of cap space or room to. Stephen Ross will write checks all day long.
It's not about running out of cap space. It's about how much signing bonus that he's going to take out of his own pocket to give him. And I think, again, and this is just my opinion on this circumstance, if Ross is really all in to win before he dies, I think that Ross knows this is his best chance to do it.
Yeah.
So if he's not writing big checks this offseason to try to bring as much talent on this team as he can, I don't think that Chris Grier or Ross believes this is the year if they don't go out and do it.
Green Rat saying Waddle will be cheaper if we do him this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
CT, you are spot on, man. This is our window where we can't screw this up. If we screw up 2024, this coming up year, we are out. I think that's why Dolphin 72 is kind of like, what the fuck are we doing getting rid of X? She knows he had one more good year in him, and he could have balled with the Rams. And I agree with her. And I think the only reason I could think is for money. They're trying to get a little bit of value.
$20 cap hit. And if we designate him as June 1st, we get $18 million. So we only have $3 million dead cap money versus having to honor that full contract.
Well, but in this league, man, you got to cover some receivers. You better have a badass on the other side, is what I'm saying. Big Philly, Hunt, Wilkins, Elliott, Williams are gone. Baker Jones, Van.
Ginkle. Yeah, and I agree. And that's where I've been trying to say is I would love to try to re-sign Robert Hunt. Look, as much as I love Wilkins, unless you're going to tag him, I don't see it as a possibility. Elliott, like we discussed, I don't really want Elliott back anyway. I think that he played good in certain games and certain situations, but overall, we did see him struggle quite a bit. He had injury issues as well. Brandon Jones came in to replace him, played pretty well. Nick Needham, I think, needs to be re-signed. Nick Needham is one of those guys that he's almost the antithesis of Kader Kohu. He was not a star early in his career, but then he ended up being one of the best lockdown nickel corners or slot corners in the NFL before he got injured last year.
Is that what happened to him last year, or was that bitch Fangio not playing him correctly?
Oh, no. Last year he got injured. He had the Achilles, and it took him 14 months to get back.
All right.
Which is the argument that I had about Jalen Phillips. And people think that because they watched Aaron Rodgers come out, oh, well, I could have played if I wanted to, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, I'm not drinking, so Green Rat can fucking go fuck himself. So the whole point was Nick Needham was playing at an extremely high level before they had the Achilles last year.
Yeah.
Now, when he came back, a la Brandon Jones, and everybody gave them shit, the first couple games back, it takes an adjustment. Just because you're physically healthy does not mean you're football ready. Those are two different things. And if you guys remember, Nick Needham and Brandon Jones' first couple games back were not very fucking good. But when they played extensively after that, they looked pretty damn good to me.
Takes a minute, man. Same thing with, we've been talking about chemistry. You have to have chemistry, you know? And that's what sucks about every year. It seems like we either have a new defensive coordinator or a new offensive coordinator, man. What the F?
Man, Big Philly needs to get his ass up here because I agree with.
You're saying, if Robert Hunt and Connor Williams are both gone and Wilkins, that's some big shoes that we're going to have to fill.
Like I was going to say, he needs to come on up here because if you're going to tell me that
get up here,
I agree with the center pick, but in the draft, but I think center and linebacker are your two pressing needs. You can draft a cornerback, you can draft a safety all you want, you can draft a guard, that's fine. But the two biggest needs are center and linebacker. I think that Jerome Baker's gone. I think that if we're really going to try to create enough cap space to do something this year, Jerome Baker's got to be gone, and you got to find something. Again, you're talking about $15.4 million to Baker. I'm sorry, he's not even worth half of that. So, I don't know, man. I think that, again, you can't keep on paying ludicrous money to people who aren't performing. I know that it's hard to anticipate level of performance, but that's the nature of Chris Grier. You're the GM. You're supposed to evaluate how coaches are developing these young players, and you don't want to re-sign guys like a Christian Wilkins last year at a below market value, but then they quote unquote bet on themselves, and then you have to try to overpay them. You're screwing yourself.
Draft talk is shit, says Green Rat. We're not talking draft talk.
Yeah,
come on, Green Rat. He's a Patriots fan.
Man, he's a fucking everybody other fucking team except the Dolphins fan. He doesn't even have a Dolphins card. Anyway, that thing is yeah, I officially took it. But no, it really comes down to, again, what are you going to get in free agency? What do you have money to based on what cuts you make? Where do you go? I mean, like I said, I'd rather re-sign Brandon Jones because Brandon Jones can do fucking everything Jerome Baker can, and he actually plays better in run defense than Jerome Baker does. Turn him into a safety linebacker hybrid. It will fit.
You know,
it'll fit.
Or go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it fits money-wise. Brandon Jones is not going to be expensive re-sign, but we know what he has. We know what his skill set is. He can blitz the quarterback. He can play in the box.
Yeah.
So if he can do everything Jerome Baker can do, and he has better coverage skills down the field than Jerome Baker, then you might as well fucking cut Jerome Baker and fucking use Brandon Jones in the same spot. That right there, if you re-sign Brandon Jones for, say, $4.5 million, Baker is a $15.4 million cap hit. Right there, you save $11 million.
You know,
so you replaced him and saved $11 million.
You know what? And I hear you, but you know what all this tells me? We're a freaking long ways away from getting our next final roster, man. I mean, we're a long ways away, man. If Big Philly's talking about cutting Robert Hunt, Wilkins, Connor Williams, I mean,
well, we're not cutting them. We're not cutting them. Wilkins is a free agent, Hunt is a free agent, and Williams is a free agent. It's not that we're cutting them.
They're gone.
Yeah, we have to either re-sign them or let them walk. Van Ginkel's a free agent. Jones is a free agent. Nick Needham is a free agent. Deshaun Elliott's a free agent. This is the mess. This is the absolute mess that Chris Grier has created.
I mean, those are some big shoes to fill, bro. I mean, I guess he'll start re-signing people. But you make room, and then you make room for that money, and then you spend the money.
Oh, that's what I just said, though. That was 10 minutes ago. What are the next moves to keep cutting money to allow you to bring in some of these other guys that you need to fill the holes in? Because you sure as fuck ain't filling the holes with only 4 draft picks.
I know that's right.
That's for damn sure.
We might get lucky and get 2 good draft. That's Chris Grier's going rate is about 50% on draft picks.
Yeah, and in the first round, other than the slam dunks that everybody knew, like, oh, but you got to give credit to Grier because he drafted at number 5 and number 11 and number 19, and he hit on those picks. Yeah, he should. He should never miss a top 20 pick. Never.
He hit on Waddle, Jalen Phillips, and Javon Holland. He nailed all 3 of those.
All of them in the top 20.
No, Holland was 30.
Or no, Holland was a second-round pick. I apologize. But again.
He was like 34, 35, I think, though. Yeah.
But still, my whole point is you can't sit here.
He went Cajun.
Yeah, I went Cajun my ass. No, I'm sorry, but we already fucking blew the pick on what's his name, the number 2 guy, when Tannenbaum and fucking and what's his name were GM and
Deion Jordan.
Deion Jordan, yeah. You blew a number 2 fucking pick.
That may be the worst pick ever. That may be worse than Noah.
It is the worst pick. We had that argument the other week. That is the worst pick in Dolphins history.
Ever. Maybe in NFL history.
Nah, I think Ryan Leaf got him beat on that one. But
yeah, there's been some bad ones.
Yeah. Baker Mayfield. Yeah, there's some bad ones out there. But it comes out. Yeah, not for the team he got drafted for.
It took him a minute.
Well, it did for Drew Brees too.
No, you're right.
It did for Drew Brees too.
Yeah, no, I mean I think quarterback takes a minute. I think there's probably been so many really, really good quarterbacks that just never got the opportunity, man. They just
Jamarcus Russell's another bad one too.
How could he have been a number 1 pick and been that bad? I mean, I remember him at LSU, believe me, playing Ole Miss. I saw he was big, he's physical, he had a big arm. I mean, he definitely looked like a number 1 quarterback, but he goes to the NFL and he's just shit.
Well, that's how it works, man. But long story short, man, Grier's got his work cut out for him. He's got to make space. Then he's got to find ways to bring in new guys. He's got to put a team together. Mike McDaniel and the coaches and Anthony Weaver have got to get their sides of the ball ready to play. And that's really it, bro. There's nothing else to it. And it sounds simple, but it's not. But at the end of the day, like the title of the show says, let the Grier games begin. And
you nailed it. Yeah.
Cannot fix it and get it right. Grier cannot fix it and be a respectable team. Then Grier's gone. I'm sorry.
This is Grier's window. When this window closes, Grier's ass is out of here. I mean, I would think.
He's the one that created the cap issue. He can fucking place blame elsewhere all the fuck he wants. you're in charge of Brandon Shore. Brandon Shore's your contract guy, but you're still his boss. If you see Brandon Shore making stupid decisions, then you need to replace Brandon Shore. And if you don't, then that's a you problem. Stop trying to pass the buck. You're like Grier is like fucking what's his name, Danny fucking Crossman. He's gonna pass the buck to his assistant, fire the assistant, and just bring a new one in. And then next year, when the special team sucks again, he'll fucking fire that assistant and blame him too.
Stephen Ross is the only one that can pull the trigger on Grier if need be.
Actually, what's his name can, and he probably should have. Oh, fuck. He's Grier's right-hand man. He's the CFO.
Shore?
No, Brandon Shore is the contract guy. No, Garfunkel.
Oh, Garfunkel.
Garfunkel is the CFO. No, is he the CFO?
Yeah,
he's right below Ross.
Garfinkel,
whatever, however you fucking say his name. But
what's his position? What's up with Garfinkel? How come he ain't helping out around this bitch?
He's not supposed to be. He's the team president. He's the fucking president of the entire fucking organization.
He was part of the one that cost us that draft pick, I think. He had he was part of that behind the back deal with Tom Brady, I think I heard.
No, that was the guy who was supposed to be the successor to Ross.
Yeah.
That's not Garfunkel or Garfinkel. That's another guy. I can't remember his name, but anyway, bro, we're going on almost 2 hours, man. We're going to wrap this shit up. Bro, we've been talking about the same shit for weeks on end. Phins up. Yeah, you go. Shout out to Bleezy. Shout out to the fucking Dolphin sweater over there. You got to pull it tight. Pop them, baby. Pop them. There you go.
Yeah, I was twinning with our girl Dolphin tonight. I didn't even notice that. Man. She stood up. I said, damn, we got the damn same shirt on. She had a t-shirt.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Dolphin. Go subscribe to her content. My Dolphins Talk, Dolphins Thirsty, that whole gambit over there. All the boys over there and women and girls over there, men and women. You know, I don't want to fucking offend anybody, but yeah, man, great content over there. Go check her out on Twitter. She watching that Heat game. Hopefully the Heat win. They've been on a streak for a little while. What happens, I don't know. Oh, look at Spidey coming in. Oh, Green Rat had to fucking come in at the end. What's up?
Goodbye, X.
Oh, yeah. Get him. He's MDC official shit talker. Let's go.
We'll wrap it up on that note.
Hey, he won't come up when she's up because he don't want to get his ass handed to him. But once she's gone, he'll come up.
I don't want to be disrespectful. It would be too easy. Too easy.
I appreciate your ass
up, Green Rat. She'll tear your ass up.
I was gonna say she's gonna chew your ass up and spit you out, bro. But final thoughts, Green Rat. Damn, MC, everybody coming in. I say I'm fucking closing it down, and everybody wants to come in. Green Rat, final thoughts.
It's gonna be a crazy couple weeks coming up. Fins up, guys.
Hell yeah. MC, final thoughts, brother.
Fins up.
Yes, sir. Bleezy, get it.
Hey, man. Combine week, whatever that means. You know, it sounds like it really doesn't mean a whole lot, like interviews, I guess. I don't know. We'll see if anybody moves up or down the ladder. Look out for Malachi Corley, the receiver. Dude is a beast. He's moving up the ladder. He's going to be a first-round pick. Check
That
them
sounds
out.
like someone from Children of the Corn.
Look out for him, man. But and shout out to DogFan72. Much love. Peace.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you guys watching. As always, for those of y'all watching on the other platforms, come on over to YouTube, smash that like button, hit the subscribe, waddle on that notification bell. Every time we're live, you can come check us out. For sure. We're going to leave you guys with our favorite clip, and we will see you guys on the next one.
Y'all here for the tiger? Y'all here for that tiger, huh? You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all need to be here for a real one though. Tigers ain't real ones. You know what I'm saying? The real attract. Bring that camera down here. Yeah, you see it. You see it.